and welcome back to another episode of Colossal PC and Gaming, and I'm back with another video about gaming build again. And this time we're going to make a great budget gaming PC for the newly released game called Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Okay, so our PC build will be about $570, and now let's get to the minimum system requirements for Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Minimum is Core i3. Okay, let me say the recommended minimum one, which means for the great budget one, which is a Core i5 4460. Then for graphics card, for AMD side we have Radeon R9 280, and for Nvidia side we have GeForce GTX 760. Then recommended RAM is 12 GB, but I'm sure that 8 GB will be fine for us. And operating system is Windows 7 or above, and we require a DirectX 11 graphics card and a hard drive space of 45 to 55 GB of storage. Actually that is quite a lot, because nowadays games are getting more bigger and bigger. And now I'm going to show you the PC part picker link, just to show you that it's actually here. Here's the PC part picker link. But anyways, now let's get to the details of the part. For our CPU, we have a Intel Core i5 6400 2.7 GHz quad-core processor. This is the latest generation of Intel processor, which is the Skylake, and this is Core i5, which means it has 4 cores, and games utilize mostly about 4 cores. So as most games require 4 cores, most games are also optimized very well at 4 cores, so our 4 cores will be enough for great gaming. And this is a 4 core processor, so no problem in that. Our frequency of this processor is 2.7 GHz base, but at its max it can reach up to 3.3 GHz, which is quite a jump. And as its latest Skylake processor, it is quite efficient, so it will be even faster than the old generation Core i5, so that is also an advantage. And it's a 64-bit bus and has an L3 cache of 64 MB and has lithography of 14 nanometer, which is really advanced and is the latest lithography, and consumes a power of about 65 watts. And this processor will come with a CPU cooler, so you don't have to worry about that. Anyways, let's get to the motherboard, which is the Gigabyte GH110M ATX A micro ATX LGA 1151 motherboard. Oh man, that was a long name. Anyways, this motherboard will be sufficient for our Intel Skylake processor, as it supports the latest Skylake processors and DDR4 memory. For maximum supported memory, we have 32 GB, and the RAM will be at speed of DDR4 at 2133 MHz, which is quite fast. It also supports 6 GB per second SATA ports, which is also most commonly the hard drives, and also has onboard USB 3 headers and also an onboard Ethernet. As I said, it will support maximum 32 GB of RAM, which is huge, and you can pin 2 into 4 GB, 4 RAM sticks. And it's a micro ATX form factor, which means it will be quite small, so you can use a small case. Anyways, let's get to the RAM, which is the crucial 8 GB DDR4 2133 MHz RAM, and it's DDR4, so that is the latest RAM technology, which means it will be quite fast than the old one. And it is 1 into 8 GB, which means we'll only use one stick, but in the future you can upgrade more, so using only one stick will allow you to have more rooms to place more RAMs, which means you can easily upgrade. And yeah, that's all for RAM, because yeah, that's it. High RAM means better gaming, and 8 GB will be fine for this game. Anyways, let's get to the storage, which is the Western Digital Caviar Blue 1 TB 3.5 inch form factor at 7200 RPM, which is quite fast. and it has a capacity of 1 terabyte and has an interface of SATA 6 GB per second, which is quite fast, and also has a cache of 64 MB. Caches are temporary data which hard drive and operating system use for faster processing, so the more cache it will be better for the hard drive and operating system, and so will also improve some of our gameplay. And 64 MB is quite a lot. It has a rate of per minute of 7200, which is quite fast, so our data read and write rate will be fast. And also it has a form factor of only 3.5 inch, which is the standard form factor. Anyways, we didn't go for an SSD because in a budget build SSD is really not the priority. We need a high storage device because games are getting really big, and this game is almost like 50 gigabyte, which is like almost 5% of this whole hard drive, which is quite a lot actually. So we'll need to get a hard drive instead of SSD. But yeah, if you want you can get an SSD, but that will be less storage. But next, for our graphics card, which is the main gaming part of this PC build, is the MSI Radeon RX 470 4GB video gaming X video card. And this is the RX 470, which is newly released and is the 4GB version, but originally RX 470 were going to be priced at like $180, but currently it's like $200 to 205. It's because of the newly released card and different economical status of AMD and other things. So that is why the price has gone up from 180 to 200 to $205, so which is quite a lot. But even for $200, this graphics card will be really great, and as is only released a few days ago, it will support all the new technologies and will be quite future proof. For the specifications, we have memory type of GDDR5, which is really fast, has a core clock of 926 MHz and a memory of 4 GB, which will be great for 1080p gaming. And it also supports SLI, not Crossfire, which is the AMD. For you can use many cards as a whole, which will even increase the graphics card for far more. Anyways, and it also supports FreeSync and has port D/D dual link, one two display ports and two HDMI ports, and also consumes a power of only 110 watts, which is quite less. Anyways, let's for the case. In budget gaming PCs, case is really not that important. You can get anything you want, but for the budget I chose Roscro ATX mini tower case. This is a small case, so it won't be that huge, so it will be easier to place it in your house or something. Anyways, it will support all of our PC part. It doesn't support front panel USB 3 port, but at the back you can support USB 3. But if you want USB 3, you can get any other cheap gaming case. It will support one external 3.5 bay, one external 5.25 bay, and two internal 3.5 bays, which is like the SSD and hard drive stuffs. And also it's a micro ATX, which means it's going to be small, which I already said. And this is a quite good rated hard drive, so that is quite reliable, and it will easily support all our parts. And last part for our PC build is the power supply, which is the EVGA 430 watt 80 plus certified. 80 plus means it's quite it's certified by a quite reliable source, so it will be a quite verified power supply, and so you won't get into any power supply shortage, or PC parts get damaged from this power supply, so you will be safe from all those power supply shortage and stuff. It's 430 watts, and our gaming PC build only consumes about 260 watts, so that will be more than enough for our part. And it also is 80 plus, which I already said, and has a one fan. and currently $15 off at new egg, but I don't know how long it will last. So if you want to get it at this cheap price, go for it today. So that's it for today. Great budget gaming PC build for Deus Ex Mankind. If you have any more future PC build, just comment down and I'll try to make a new PC build for that specific game. And thanks for watching and hope you guys stay well. Hit that like button if you have enjoyed this video, and please subscribe to our channel, Global PC and Gaming, for more content.